Welcome to English Practice Stories, where you learn English by listening to real-life heroes who changed the world. Start of story. A teacher was angry. He looked at a little boy. The boy was 6 years old. The teacher said, "You cannot learn. Your mind is slow. You are addled." Addled means confused or broken. The teacher told the boy, "You cannot come to school anymore." The little boy did not understand. He felt sad. He felt confused. He took a letter from the teacher. He walked home. He gave the letter to his mother, Nancy. Nancy read the letter. Her face became very serious. She was not sad. She was angry. She grabbed her son's hand. She walked back to the school. She looked at the teacher. She said, "My son is not slow. My son is a genius. His mind is faster than yours. You are the one who is slow. You do not know how to teach him. I will teach my son. I will teach him at home." She took her son's hand and they left. They never went back. That little boy was named Thomas. His full name was Thomas Alva Edison. The world told him he was a failure. The school said he was stupid, but his mother believed in him. His mother's belief was the first spark, and this boy, this failure, would soon light up the entire world. Thomas loved his new school at home. His mother understood him. He was not slow. He was curious. He did not want to memorize facts. He wanted to know why. Why does this happen? How does that work? He asked hundreds of questions. His mother gave him books. He loved to read. He read science books. He read history books. He read books by Shakespeare. He did not just read. He studied. When he was 10 years old, he built a laboratory. Where? In the basement of his house. He collected bottles. He collected wires. He collected chemicals. He did experiments. He wanted to see how the world worked. Sometimes his experiments exploded, but he never stopped learning. Thomas knew his family was not rich. He needed to help. When he was 12, he got a job. He sold newspapers and candy on a train. He worked long hours, but he did not stop learning. He put his laboratory on the train. In a small, empty car, he did experiments. He loved science. One day, a terrible accident happened. A fire started in his train laboratory. The conductor was very angry. He hit Thomas on the side of his head. It was a hard hit. Around the same time, Thomas got very sick. He had a bad fever. Between the sickness and the hit, Thomas started to lose his hearing. The world became quiet. He could not hear the birds sing. He could not hear the rain fall. He was becoming deaf. Many people would feel broken. Many people would give up. But not Thomas. He saw his deafness in a different way. He said, "When I cannot hear, I am not distracted. I can focus. I can think about my ideas." He did not see a problem. He saw a special power. He learned a new skill. The telegraph. The telegraph sent messages using dots and dashes. It was the sound of click, click, click. He could not hear the clicks well, but he could feel them. He even learned to read the clicks just by touching the machine. He became one of the best telegraph operators in the country, but he was always thinking. He was always trying to make things better. This got him in trouble. He got a job at a telegraph office. He was supposed to be working. Instead, he was taking a machine apart. He was trying to improve it. He spilled some acid. The acid burned the floor. It burned his boss's desk. His boss shouted, "You are fired!" This happened again and again. He lost many jobs. He was a failure. He was poor. He was hungry. He often slept in basements on the cold floor. He had no money. He had no home. But he had his ideas. He had his dreams. He moved to New York City. He wanted to be one thing, an inventor. He found a job fixing machines at a bank. One day, the most important machine broke. It was the stock ticker. It sent all the money information. The office stopped. The boss was shouting. Everyone was panicking. Nobody could fix it. Thomas, the poor boy who lost his job, walked over to the machine. He was quiet. He looked. He listened. He thought. He saw the problem. He turned a wheel. He fixed a spring. Suddenly, the machine started. Click, click, click. It was working. The boss was shocked. "Who are you? How did you do that?" The boss gave him a new job, not fixing machines, improving them. Thomas didn't just fix the machine. He made a new one, a much better one, a universal stock ticker. The company was very happy. They asked him, How much money do you want for this invention? Thomas was nervous. He thought, maybe $5,000? But he was too scared to say the number. He said, "You tell me. What do you think it is worth?" The company man said, "We will give you $40,000. Thomas almost fainted. $40,000! In that time, it was like millions of dollars. He was not poor anymore. What did he do with all that money? Did he buy a big house? Did he buy fast horses or expensive clothes? No, Thomas built a place for dreams. He built a new kind of building. It was in a place called Menlo Park. It was the world's first invention factory, a laboratory for ideas. He hired the best people. He hired engineers. He hired scientists. He hired builders. He told his team, "We will make a small invention every 10 days, and a big invention every 6 months." People said he was crazy. That is impossible. Thomas and his team did not listen. They worked. They worked all day. They worked all night. They did not watch the clock. They were chasing the future. They slept on tables. They ate at their desks. They were full of energy and excitement. They called Thomas the Wizard of Menlo Park. They invented a new kind of telephone. They invented the phonograph. This was a machine that could record a human voice. Thomas spoke into the machine. Mary had a little lamb. He turned a handle. The machine spoke back to him. Mary had a little lamb. It was magic. It was the first time a machine had ever saved a sound. Thomas Edison was famous, but he was not finished. He had one more idea, an idea that seemed truly impossible. At this time, the world was dark at night. When the sun went down, people used candles. They used gas lamps. Gas lamps were dirty. They were smelly. They were dangerous. They started many fires. The night was dark and scary. Thomas said, "I will stop the darkness. I will make a safe, clean electric light. I will put light inside a glass ball." The greatest scientists in the world laughed. They said, "It is impossible. The electricity is too strong. The light will be too hot. It will burn up instantly. You are wasting your time, Mr. Edison." Thomas smiled. "We will find a way." He needed a filament, a small, tiny thread that could glow with electricity, but not burn. He and his team started to test. He tried a piece of paper. He put it in the glass bulb. He turned on the electricity. Poof! It burned up in 1 second. Failure. He tried a piece of cotton thread. Poof! Failure. He tried a piece of wood. Failure. He tried a piece of hair from his friend's beard. Failure. He tried fishing. Line. Failure. He tried metal. Failure. He tried every plant he could find. Failure. Day after day. Week after week. Month after month. The laboratory filled with smoke. The floor was covered in broken bulbs. The newspapers made fun of him. They wrote, "The wizard is a fake. Edison's magic is finished." His team was tired. They were covered in black soot. They were losing hope. His money was running out. One of his assistants came to him. The man was tired and angry. He said, "Mr. Edison, we must stop. We have failed. We have tried 1,000 things. We have 1,000 failures. This is impossible. Let's give up." Thomas Edison looked at the man. He was not sad. He was not angry. He was calm. He said the words that changed the world. "We have not failed. We have not failed 1,000 times. We have successfully found 1,000 ways that do not work. We are closer to the answer. Think about this." Failure was not an end for him. Failure was not a stop sign. Failure was information. Failure was learning. Failure was progress. He said, "We just need to find the one way that does work." And they kept going. They tested 6,000 different materials. 6,000. Imagine the hard work. Imagine the patience. Imagine how many times they wanted to quit. Then they tried something new. A simple piece of bamboo, the kind used in a Japanese fan. They cooked it. They turned it into carbon. It was very thin. They carefully put it in the glass bulb. They pumped out all the air. They were nervous. Thomas turned on the electricity. A light started to glow. It was soft. It was beautiful. It did not burn. 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour. The team watched. They did not breathe. 5 hours, 10 hours. The little light kept glowing. It glowed for 13 hours. They did it. They found it. The team shouted. They cried. They danced. The impossible was now possible. But Thomas was not finished. A light bulb is good, but it is not enough. He said, how will people use this? They need wires to bring the electricity. They need switches to turn it on and off. They need power stations to make the electricity. So, Thomas Edison invented all of it. He invented the light switch. He invented the power grid. He invented the whole system. It was time to show the world. New Year's Eve, 1879, he invited hundreds of people to Menlo Park. Reporters, politicians, and normal people. They came on trains. They stood in the cold, dark street. They were whispering, "It will not work. It is a trick." Thomas Edison stood at the main switch. He took a deep breath. He pulled the lever. Click. And suddenly the night was gone. Hundreds of electric lights glowed. The street, the trees, the houses, everything was bright as day. It was beautiful. It was clean. It was safe. The people gasped. They started to cheer. It was not magic. It was the light of hard work. It was the light of belief. Thomas Edison did not just invent a light bulb. He invented the modern world. He gave us the night. Because of him, we can read books after dark. Because of him, hospitals can save lives at 3 a.m. Because of him, cities are safe. The boy whose mind was called slow had lit up the entire planet. Did he stop? Never. Thomas Edison continued to invent. He created 1,093 patents, a world record that is still standing. He invented the movie camera. He invented a better battery. He improved the telephone. His mind never ever stopped working. One final amazing story shows his true spirit. One night, when Thomas was 67 years old, his giant factory in New Jersey caught fire. It was a huge, terrible fire. All his work, his research, his machines, everything was burning. The fire was too big. The firefighters could not stop it. His life's work was turning to black smoke. His son, Charles, ran to find him. He saw his father standing calmly watching the fire. Charles shouted, "Father, it's all gone! Everything we worked for is gone!" He was crying. Thomas Edison turned to his son. He was not crying. His face was glowing from the giant flames. He said, "Go get your mother. Hurry, bring her here. She will never see a fire like this again." His son was shocked. Thomas watched the fire for a while. The next morning, he stood in the ashes. Everything was black, millions of dollars gone, his life's work gone. He was 67 years old. He looked at the disaster. He said, "There is great value in disaster. All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start new." 3 weeks later, he started rebuilding. He never, ever gave up. Start of moral. The story of Thomas Edison teaches us something powerful. The world will tell you that you are a failure, a teacher, a boss, or even your own mind will tell you, "You are too slow. You are not smart enough. Give up." Thomas Edison was told he was a failure his entire life. He failed at school. He lost his hearing. He was fired from his jobs. He failed 1,000 times, 6,000 times, on his biggest idea. He lost his factory to fire. But he never ever believed he was a failure. He said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." Perspiration means sweat. It means hard work. You will fail. When you are learning English, you will make mistakes. When you follow your dream, you will fall down. When this happens, remember Thomas Edison. Every failure is not an end. It is a lesson. It is a step forward. It is just one more way that does not work. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep your belief. And you too will find your light.